Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ-Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Eskow.
Jeff
Doing bad time. Doing bad time. Got myself a problem.
Live from San Diego, it's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports World Radio. How's everybody doing today? I am the host, Jeff Escow. We got a jam-packed show for you guys today. Sean and I were just talking about it while you guys were listening to the music and the intros and getting ready to get us live. We were just talking about what we were going to do today and tomorrow's show and all that. So we're ready to rock and roll today. Let's get all the particulars out of the way. SportsWorldRadio.com is the place to listen to the show. SportsWorldRadio.com. If you want to come and hang out in the chat room, we are over at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. 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 If you don't have an account with them, it's free. Get yourself a free account. Type in Sports World Radio. Will show up at the bottom of your screen. Now, you're still listening to us on SportsWorldRadio.com. Take your mouse and click it over the bubble all the way over to the right. It's the second to last icon on the right-hand side there. Click it. The chat room will open up. Start chatting away. I know there's tons of people in the chat. I know you're out there. Stop listening in the chat. Sean and I won't bite your head off. We promise. At least not the first time you chat in with us. Maybe the third or fourth time, but at least not the first two times. We'll be nice. I promise. If you're hanging out at SportsWorldRadio.com, click the donate button. Or even if you're not at SportsWorldRadio.com, head on over there during a commercial break or after the show. Click on the donate button and donate to the cause here at Sports World Radio and help us keep us doing what we like to do here, and that's entertain you guys with sports talk. Hello, Kathy. See, Kathy's in the room. She typed in, hello, guys, and 11 more days, first Red Sox game of the season. Yippee. She's a happy Red Sox. You know something really quick, Kathy? That picture that you have on your Spreaker account, you look so much like my cousin Amy in that picture. So much like my cousin Amy. When I look at that picture, that's exactly what I think. My cousin Amy. Okay, so SportsWorldRadio.com. Do all that fancy stuff. Hang out over there. We got a lot of stuff over there going on. Also, Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Please like our Facebook page. We need to start getting some likes, so like our Facebook page, please. Also follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. We got some big wigs following us over at Twitter, so thank you very much for all you big, high-polluting people following us over there. We appreciate it. Pay attention to the real sports stars of sports talk. If anybody noticed, you know what? I'll wait till I bring in Sean. Sean, remind me when you come in and just say Twitter. I have a quick story about Twitter I want to say. So that's the Twitter account. 619-663-3715. 619-663-3715 is the number to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. If you're a Skype user and you want to get in touch with us via Skype, Sports World Radio Show. Sports World Radio Show is our Skype handle. So give us a call via Skype. swrshow@gmail.com. swrshow@gmail.com is our email address. I believe all the particulars are out of the way now. So what do you say, hey, we bring in that rat bastard co-host himself, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on there, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jeff. Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio on the 26th of March, 2015, Thursday, 6:07 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:07 p.m. on the West. For you miserable people out there in the Central, you miserable people, figure that out for yourself, you Central people.
They're having a lot of problems with the cold weather out there still in the East Coast, aren't they?
Oh, drink some hot chocolate and have some soup. You'll be all right.
Well, look at Josh, our producer of the show, says he's got a bone to pick with the update man.
Has a bone to pick with me.
That's what he said, yeah.
I don't like that.
How's the weather out there in Idaho?
Weather right now is very cool today. It finally stopped raining, but it's kind of like typical spring weather, Jeff, like in the 40s and the 50s, doing well. And I'm going to say, not even San Diego is very sunshiny.
Oh yeah,
sunny
it's
San
freaking,
Diego.
dude. We're in a freaking heat wave. When I called you, you heard the air conditioner was still on, right?
Having a heat wave.
Oh,
there
dude,
you go.
are you kidding me? It's gonna be starting today, high 90. Right now, it's about 95 degrees outside. It's freaking hot, and it's only gonna get hotter over the
gosh.
rest of. It's only gonna get hotter for the rest of the until like Tuesday. It's gonna be. We're gonna hit the hundreds out here, and it's gonna be miserable. It's gonna
Drink
be
some
freaking
tea,
miserable.
drink some water, or drink some lemonade, you rat bastard.
I
Just
usually-
kidding, Jeff.
I usually turn the air conditioner off right before I call Sean. Well, today, the air conditioner was on when I still called him. Because it's freaking that hot. I'm already starting to sweat. It's ridiculous. Kathy, man, she loves her Boston Bruins, doesn't she? Too bad they ain't going to make the playoffs.
Kathy, we can't just stick with Boston this and this, Boston that.
Hey, really quick.
Josh,
He's got a bone to pick with you. Josh, wait till Friday. You're coming on the show tomorrow. Josh is coming on the show tomorrow. In the second hour of the show, you could pick all the bones you want, buddy, on Friday when you come on the show. In fact, if you want, we'll bring you in and you can be in a whole freaking show for the whole 2 hours if you want. And you could pick all sorts of bones that you want. What the hell's going making noise over here? Oh, CBS Sports is telling me hello. What the on my iPad? So you could pick all the bones you want if you want to come on the show tomorrow for the whole. You're the producer. You tell me. I don't care. Hey, what's up, Shaba? How you doing? It's raining in Mississippi.
in Vicksburg,
In Pittsburgh, Mississippi. Hey, where's Kathy live? In Florida?
Florida.
What's the weather like out there in Florida? The same out here, only it's just a little bit cooler. Probably sunny and beautiful out there in Florida. It's probably in like 75, 80. Out here, it's freaking 95 right now. I'm freaking almost dying already. It's unstinking believable. I just don't get it. Really quick, I have a quick story to tell you about Twitter. Okay?
Yeah, you had something you had to mention about
Right.
Twitter. Yes.
Late last night. You know me. I'm up always in the wee hours of the morning, right?
Let me guess, Jeff. It has something to do with Skippy Bayless.
Oh, you bet. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
You should go over to Sports. If you follow Sports World Radio on Twitter, which you should be already, okay? If you follow Sports World Radio on Twitter, which you should be already, you'll notice in the wee hours of the morning, I don't know why, but I was looking through my pictures. I was doing something, and I was looking through my pictures. And I found a picture that I have of an alligator swimming through water going at his prey.
Oh my goodness.
You see that, Sean,
wow.
don't you? You see that, Sean, don't you?
Josh goes, please, please, please.
Are you looking at it right now, Sean?
I don't have a Twitter account.
Oh, you don't
but
have
Josh can take a look. Go ahead,
You don't
Josh.
have a Twitter guy? Josh, go over there and post it in the page. Post it here in the chat room so people can see it. And I posted something about Skip Bayless. And I posted it at his account so he would see it. I can't remember the wording that I said. Okay? I don't remember the wording I said, but I'm starting to go after him. I'm going to post something every single day. Like that.
Now, is the petition ongoing?
Well, we don't have a petition yet. I don't have the petition yet. I'm working on that. Wait. I'm right. There it is,
wait
right
for
there.
it because, Jeff, you're itching to do whatever you can to debate Skip Bayless.
Yeah, there it is right there. I'm over at my Twitter account right now. How do I don't even know how to. Okay, it says I put a picture of this alligator swimming in this water with his jaw open, getting ready to chomp on his prey. Okay? And it says, I want you at Real Skip Bayless. I want to show everybody just how much sports you really don't know. Bring it, Skip.
I'm looking at it right now. Josh just posted the
Thanks,
link on
Josh.
the chat room.
Thanks, Josh. You like that,
With the
right?
alligator.
You like that, right? I'm going to do that every single day. And I want everybody else to do that.
Or
Every
even
day.
go to Facebook. I wonder if Skip Bayless has a Skip Bayless page.
I'm coming
or
after
something.
you, buddy. I'm telling you, I'm not stopping until I get you. I'm not stopping until I get you. And that's going to be that.
And then you're going to post some stuff from I Hate Skip Bayless and send it to Mike and Mike in the morning, too? You still keeping up with that, Jeff?
Well, yeah, but mostly now I'm concentrating on Sports World Radio's Twitter account, and I'm coming after all of those sons of bitches. Okay, I'm tired. I'm tired of waiting. Okay, it's time. It's time. It's time for me. Look at. Josh just retweeted that. Josh just retweeted my post that we're talking about here. I want everybody to retweet that post. Looks like we lost Sean. Looks like he's having some internet trouble. Sean probably lost the internet again. How about them apples right there? Way to go, Shawnee. Screwing my whole system up. So that's that right there. So I'm coming after you, Mr. Skip Bayless, and I'm coming after you right freaking now. And I'm not holding back no more. I'm tired of holding back, and I'm tired of waiting. Josh, I want you to put together a petition ASAP and get it on Facebook ASAP and Twitter, and let's get this thing rocking and rolling. I'm tired of waiting. I really am. I really, really am. I'm not going to be waiting no more. It looks like Mr. Shawnee is having some internet troubles, so I'm on my own. And when I'm on my own like this, I don't know where I'm going because nobody freaking tells me. So you know what that means? I get to go wherever the hell I want. How about that? I get to go wherever the hell I want. I don't even know if he's back online yet. Sean, if you can hear me, call in, you rat bastard. You don't have to wait for me to call you. You can call back. Oh, so Kathy's going to be leaving soon because she's got choir practice and she's going to miss the game tonight anyway. So, Skip, I'm coming for you, come hell or high water. That's going to be the name of that tune from now on. You're going to get one of those posted every single day that I want you. And I want it. And it's going to get done. Because I can do stuff like that. That's why. All right, so. Josh ain't with me. Sean's not with me. So I guess I'm going to the first topic of the day on what I want to talk about. And I'm going to go right to the topic of the day of John Calipari desperately wanting to return to the NBA? What are you kidding me? Really? You got it really easy. Really easy. At Kentucky. You're making a crap load of money. You're getting the best ball players. You're in the NCAA tournament every year. You're also almost in the Final Four every single freaking year. You got it easy over there. Why do you want to go to the NBA? I understand that you failed. I get that. I understand you failing and getting that. But why the NBA? Screw the NBA.
Exactly.
Stay in college. You dumbass. Why are you going to the NBA? Why are you even thinking about going to the NBA? You're having way too much fun in college.
This is
at
about
Kentucky.
John Calipari you're talking about, buddy?
Yeah. Way too
Yeah.
much fun in college to go to freaking the NBA. I get it that you failed and you want to fix. Who cares? You're not an NBA coach. You're a college coach. Just like Rick Pitino. He ain't an NBA coach either. He's a college coach as well.
I looked at the as we talk about John Calipari. This was actually the first story before I had some technical difficulties. Calipari has a better winning percentage at the college level than he did in the NBA. He coached with the New Jersey Nets, a disastrous 3 years that he had with the New Jersey Nets, and then he got fired during the 1998-99 season.
Yeah, but you want to know something? He had to listen. That was the worst place for him to go to, and everybody told him not to go, and he went there anyway.
Sure, he got
Right?
New Jersey Nets to the NBA playoffs, but then they had a disastrous start to the season. They went like 3-18, and they were just a really, really bad basketball team. And after they lost, I remember a game to Toronto. Boom, he was out of there. I think it was like 97, 98. I think it was like really, really early into the season, and he was just doing such a horrible job. I hate this conversation, and they've always talked about, even on ESPN today, they said, we've had this conversation before about John Calipari, if he should go to the NBA or the college basketball. And people are saying, no, stay at the college level. Stay with the program you built with the University of Kentucky. Look at all the success you're doing there. You've got the potential this year to do what you wanted to do from the very beginning, and that is win the national championship. And remember, Jeff, when John Calipari got hired as head coach, he got paid $3.65 million as a coach, higher than any other college coach.
Yeah, what is he making? $52, $57 million, something like that a year? He's got a big contract, right?
He's got a big, big contract, and it's huge.
I just don't think. I think he's better off staying in the NBA in college. He is a college basketball coach. That's what
he is.
Calipari. If Calipari walks away, he'll be walking away from $7 million a year at Kentucky. What are you kidding me?
I don't like it at all in the first place. And I was like watching it on ESPN today, and I was just shaking my head saying, don't do this, John. Look how bad sometimes it's been. Some college coaches have done okay going to the NBA, and some haven't. Rick Pitino, look what happened to him. He went to the Boston Celtics, and then when things didn't go well with the Boston Celtics, he left and he returned back to college because he left a great Kentucky program, and then and look how that all fell through in Boston. And now he's at, how we say it, Louisville. I think it's Louisville.
Louisville. I hope she's in here. Louisville.
And for Calipari to leave what is a very big program in Kentucky, that's a bad decision for him to do that. And I remember this was a dream job for John Calipari because he was at Memphis. He did a great job. He took Memphis to the NCAA National Championship. They played against Kansas and they lost, and then he was there for a few more years. And then his dream job was to be the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats. And he had listened to great people like Rick Pitino, for one, and I believe the Nuggets head coach, I can't remember off the top of my head what his name was, who was a big part of '94 when the Nuggets upset Seattle. I forget what his name is, Jeff, off the top of my head. Dang it, I can't remember who it is. Dan Issel. Issel was his name, and Issel was in Kentucky too.
Dan Issel was a great freaking head coach of the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, and
right?
Dan Issel, I remembered Calipari when I watched the introduction to his press conference says, I've talked with numerous people. He goes, quote, I remember him saying, quote, I've talked with numerous people who have been here. I've talked with Rick Pitino. He says it's a great program. I've talked with Dan Issel, who used to be at Kentucky. So stay where you're at. Stay where the experience is. Look what Josh says. Good thing I picked Michigan State to win the national title. Calipari needs to recognize his priorities. I agree.
No, I agree too. He has to. Listen, I think he should stay right where he's at.
There was a little bit of a talk today on ESPN about Calipari maybe going to Los Angeles to become coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And a lot of people said on ESPN, that's not a good idea. They're not too keen about this idea, Jeff. And I would agree with them very well. If they brought me into Bristol, Connecticut, and they brought me in for my perspective on this, I'd say, no, bad decision. Stay where you're at. Enjoy what you're doing, and hopefully you can continue to keep building the program and winning some national titles for the University of Kentucky.
Right. He shouldn't be not going anywhere, man.
Think about the other college coaches who had been close to going to the NBA but decided to stay, like Take Mike Krzyzewski. Mike Krzyzewski had been offered opportunities to go to the Boston Celtics, the LA Lakers, but he didn't want to leave. He loves what he does at Duke. That's where he wants to be. He loves Duke. He loves what he's done with the program. And the Blue Devils are in the Sweet 16, maybe have a chance to win the national championship too. That's why I'm picking Duke and Kentucky, because there's a little bit of history between those two teams during their tournament matchups. And I know, Jeff, very well, you remember some of the great games that they played, like 1992, Christian Laettner, when he hit the game-winning shot, which was incredible, that half-court pass, that the ball that was taken all the way on the other end, and that Blue Devil just threw it right down to Laettner. And then, of course, Kentucky finally upset them and beat them in the late 90s. So it would be great.
Right. I just don't want him going back to the NBA. I don't think – listen, there's a couple of coaches that can coach in the NBA and should be there. He's not one of them. He's a college coach at heart. He'll always be a college coach. That's where he needs to be. You know? At least for me, that's where he needs to be.
Another story to get to, Josh. Thank you so much. We move to the NFL. Jerry Jones has come out and said, I have no problem with the current catch rule.
The current catch rule?
I've been agitating all week over the owners to take reins of the sport, over which they reign and do what the league office won't regarding the catch rule, namely change it. Jerry Jones came out and said, quote, first of all, we know that just as these rules could go against you, they could go with you, and we had a couple of other calls that went with us during the NFL playoffs, Jones said. But since we have instant replay, you really strive to get it right because you have a lot of time to look at it with instant replay. It was a catch. It just didn't fall under the rules. Those are the kinds of rules that I think need to be concealed with more of the reality. Did he catch it? This is what he was saying to Des Bryant. Or did he not catch it? Well, he caught the ball. We all know in any definition there is except the rules of the NFL. I live with it, though, because we live with a lot of rules that have those caveats.
Yeah, well, tough. You know what? They ruled it not a catch, and they looked at it, and he didn't continue all the way through. That's the name of the game, my friend. Tough. You can't change the rules to suit your freaking needs, Mr. Jerry Jones.
And here it is already the month of March, the end of March, and he's complaining about that. And Josh is also talking about that Calvin Johnson rule. That one too, correct.
Okay, really quick. The other day, we talked about Darren Sharper, correct?
Right, 9-year prison sentence.
Okay, well, correct. Well, check this out. I'm going to read this article. It's really short. I'm going to read it really quick. This article is by Nick Mencio. I'm actually going to take it and give it to you guys really quick right here. If you want to check it out. Really quick, check this out. It's been a busy Monday for the former NFL safety and now convicted serial rapist Darren Sharper, as the 5-time Pro Bowler will spend the next 2 decades behind bars. Sharper pleaded guilty to sexual assault and attempted sexual assault in Arizona on Monday morning and was sentenced to 9 years in prison. We talked about that on Monday's show. He then pleaded no contest to drugging and raping 2 women in Los Angeles before agreeing to 8-year prison term in Nevada. Sharper concluded his Monday by agreeing to a 20-year plea deal in New Orleans. According to the deal, Sharper will serve a 20-year prison sentence for drugging and raping multiple women in Louisiana. It's part of a global plea deal that will allow the 39-year-old to serve his 9-year sentence from Arizona and 8-year sentence from Nevada concurrently with his 20-year term from the state of Louisiana, instead of serving consecutive 37 years behind bars. Sharper will serve his federal term first before moving to state prison, which is viewed as a break for Sharper. Most would agree he's already getting a break by just having to serve 20 years. Sharper faced a maximum sentence of life in prison prior to agreeing to the plea deal. So he's going to be in prison for 20 years.
2035. Jeez.
How about that? Is that crazy? He is going to be in jail for 20 years. He got 19 in one, and then in 8 in another, and now he's going to do the 9 and the 8 concurrently with the 20-year plan, so he doesn't have to do 37, so he only has to do 20. Wow. He's a convicted serial rapist. The NFL employed a serial rapist. That's not good for the NFL at all.
Not at all, and it needs to be addressed a little bit further ahead of schedule.
It does. And you want to know something? We will address it a little bit more when we get back from this first commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear. And do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov. This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Okay, so before we went to break, we were talking about Darren Sharper taking a 20-year plea deal in Louisiana rape case. So Darren Sharper goes from Super Bowl champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, to convicted serial rapist. That's not a good freaking resume to have, is it?
Not a good resume to have, and with Roger Goodell, that's one of the other areas that he has to deal with. Remember what happened last year with Adrian Peterson and the child abuse, and Ray Rice and what he did to his fiancée in the elevator. And now this. He needs to continue to keep doing a better job, because if NFL players getting away with this get busted, disciplinary action has to happen, and he needs to do it the sooner the better, because you have to learn a lesson, Jeff. We all make mistakes. That's what it comes down to, but you have to come out, admit your mistake, and accept your punishment and serve your punishment and not do it. But here we are talking about a guy who was, a 5-time Pro Bowler, won a Super Bowl, and now all of a sudden he's getting 20 years in prison for what had happened.
Okay, you mentioned Ray Rice, right?
That is correct.
You mentioned Ray Rice, and I said to you before we came on the air today, somebody signed with somebody, and I couldn't remember who it was. Ray Rice signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers today. Do you think that makes Wes happy?
Wow. So
do you
that's
think that
breaking
makes
news. Wow.
Do you think that makes Wes happy?
No.
I saw that today, and the first person I thought of, without fail, was Wes.
Speaking of Wes came out and said today, and from what Josh said to me when we had a little visit on our Skype today, he says, you can tell Escal this, I think it's what Wes said, that all Pittsburgh teams are going to win championships this year. The Penguins will win the Cup, the Pirates will win the World Series, and the Steelers will win the Super Bowl, and Sidney Crosby's going to win MVP.
Hey, Wes, I'm sorry to say something, dude, but they ain't winning crap with Ray Rice. Really? Really? Ray Rice? Really? Come on.
And how much of a blow is that to the Baltimore Ravens, though? Because think about it. Pittsburgh and Baltimore, they're rivals. They've met for years.
Well, the thing that I freaking read said that Ray Rice can't wait to play against his former team twice now. How great is that? Huh?
That's crazy.
Okay, I really? Are you kidding me? Pittsburgh, come on now. What's up with that? Steelers, come on. I thought you had better class than that.
And Wes believes it. He wants to find the appropriate moment to not come to the show, but save it for a moment when a Pittsburgh team wins a championship, comes in here and sticks it in our faces, and he'll be like, see, told you so. Told you that Pittsburgh teams are going to win championships.
You know who else they put? You know who else they are bringing back?
Who?
Darius Hayward-Bay. Bringing him back for another year, too.
My question is, with the Steelers making the moves and getting Ray Rice and this player that you just mentioned, Jeff, are the Pittsburgh Steelers the team that will represent the AFC North? Will they win the division and, of course, get far in the playoffs in January of next year?
Ray Rice. Come on, really? Come on.
You often wonder what kind of a response he's going to get, Ray Rice, when he goes to the football stadiums when they're the
You know what's good
when
he goes to visit Baltimore, you know the boos he's going to get?
He's going to receive a lot of them.
Oh my Lord. Anywhere he goes, he's going to get booed. He might even get booed in Pittsburgh.
I have a belief and opinion that this is it for Mike Tomlin. Steelers don't get it done this year. Mike Tomlin very well would be out the door and fired as head coach. Then Pittsburgh is searching for a new coach next year.
You know who that new coach is going to be, right? He's already there, and they're just waiting. I can see it already.
No, who?
I think it's going to be whatchamacallit, who's the offensive coordinator right now.
Todd Haley.
Todd Haley. Thank you. Yeah. I think they might be grooming that son of a bitch. I wouldn't
Jeff,
be.
I can tell you before we get to the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour, because Josh says we need to do that soon, since Frank's coming in. You know darn well that Wes will not at all be happy about that with Todd Haley coming in there as head coach and taking over for them because he didn't want Todd Haley back.
I know,
and
Wes
Josh,
don't like
you're very
him.
lucky he didn't go to the Bears.
I know, Wes don't like freaking Todd Haley. I don't like Todd Haley as a coach either. As a coach, I don't think he's a good coach. As an offensive coordinator, he's okay, but if you're not getting along with your quarterback, what the hell's the difference? You know what I mean? What the hell's the difference? If you can't get along with your quarterback and you're the offensive coordinator and the quarterback can't get along with you, what the hell is he there for? Right?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Next is the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour.
Bringing it already before the big win gets in here, huh? You don't want to hear the big win's opinion on Skippy?
Because he'll have a lot of ongoing stuff to say.
A lot of ongoing. That's right. That's why he's called the big bag of wind.
Skippy Bayless said, quote, "My Dallas Cowboys are a smarter organization than my New York Knicks."
I doubt that. Sometimes this guy really doesn't know what he's talking about. I watched some of his stuff today, and I just had to turn the TV up because I can't stand his whiny-ass voice.
Skippy Bayless, "My Dallas Cowboys can do no wrong."
How do you get away with being on radio with a whiny-ass voice like that, Skippy? Huh? If you're supposed to be a brilliant sports broadcaster, fix your damn voice, for Christ's sakes. What did he say?
He says, "My Dallas Cowboys can do no wrong."
Yeah, do no wrong. That's why they got rid of DeMarco Murray. Do no wrong. That's right. They haven't done anything right in the last 19 years. So they're going to continue to do wrong. Do no wrong. When was the last time they made the playoffs besides last year? Do no wrong. What are you, a moron?
The last time that happened was the 2009 Dallas Cowboys.
Do no wrong. Well, you're such a biased son of a bitch, it's ridiculous. You know what, Skip? You're worse than freaking Sean.
Wait a minute. Leave me out of it.
When it comes to being biased on your teams, you rat bastard.
Wait a minute. Leave me out of it. I haven't been biased of late.
I know. That's why
my teams out of it.
That's what I'm saying, buddy.
Them.
That's what I'm saying, buddy. You're doing a great job. Skip Bayless is worse than you now. How bad? That's bad.
That is.
Yeah, tell me. That's why I made the statement.
Good statement indeed. 40 minutes after the hour, Skippy Bayless said, "My Philadelphia Eagles will not make the playoffs this year."
Well, wait a second. My Dallas Cowboys, my Philadelphia Eagles, my New York Giants. Are you going to throw in my Washington Redskins too, you freaking hump? You can't say that about all four teams.
Then he was talking about your New York Knicks, your favorite team, the Knicks.
Well, he said my New York Knicks, didn't he?
Yes, my Dallas Cowboys are a smarter organization than my New York Knicks.
How do you? No, wrong. You get Oklahoma and you get Dallas. That's it. You don't get my New York Knicks. You don't get my New York Nets or the Brooklyn Nets or my Cleveland Cavaliers or you don't get that. You get two teams, shove it up your ass, and that's that.
He probably believes and senses that I'm not too far away from New York. I can always put my New York Knicks in there.
You did not grow up in New York. You only live there because you work there, you dummy.
Skippy Bayless. Charles Barkley is the greatest broadcaster of all time.
No, he's not. He's not even close. No, he's not. He's not even close. Not even close.
Think about all the Skippy quotes we've done ever since we started this segment. I think it was like in October or September of last year or August. How Skippy has always had something for Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley and Jerry Jones. Always something. One or the other.
Skippy Bayless. Pablo Sandoval should be left alone.
Pablo Sandoval is a fat son of a bitch who got $95 million on a 5-year deal, shows up to camp late and out of shape. Way to go.
I'm happy about it. Panda's going to be good this year.
Panda. Yeah, that's a nice name you want for a ball player. Especially
That's
a
his
baseball
nickname.
player. That should not... You know why they call him Panda?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a fat son of a bitch. If he wasn't so fat, his nickname wouldn't be Panda.
Skippy Bayless. Nobody should purchase the WWE network.
Well, I agree. Let Vince McMahon run it and own it forever. The only way that... Oh, God, here he is. The only way that thing goes down is if he dies and she sells it. Okay? Because that thing ain't going anywhere. Okay? And I was talking to somebody yesterday. That thing ain't going anywhere. Okay? When he decides to retire, the daughter, she's going to be running the whole kit and caboodle. Along with freaking Triple H. She'll be running the whole thing.
Skippy Bayless said this today: WrestleMania will be good if Charles Barkley is on the commentator team.
Charles Barkley couldn't commentate a basketball game in a basketball bag, in a paper bag. He stinks. He sucks. His commentating is as bad as his golf swing.
Skippy Bayless came out and said this: get ready, Frank. My Chicago Cubs are a disgrace.
Now he's talking about now he's saying my Chicago. See, I like that. He puts the word my in front of it. Then he thinks he has since he did that, he thinks he's allowed to say bad things about him. That's what he does. He puts the word my in front of the team, and then he thinks he can say bad things about it. It's okay. It's not okay.
He's probably thinking, hey, you Cub fans, you guys haven't done diddly squat in 107 years. How do you expect that this year is going to be? Probably another losing season.
I think what they should be doing is still build the stadium during baseball games. You know, just keep the construction going during the game. Screw it.
Probably mentioned that to Frank.
So while the baseball game's going on, the construction dudes are working, and they get to watch the game for free while they're working.
Wrigley is just going through a lot of construction and a lot of work right now, and I agree with you.
You know, they should just play the games during the construction. Screw it. You know, they almost moved every single home game to Milwaukee. They were going to play in Milwaukee Stadium. How about that?
That was very close and narrowly happened.
Is that crazy or what?
Narrowly.
That's pretty crazy or what? We got to get to our first update of the day, don't we, my friend?
Yes, we do.
This update is brought to you by The Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your flipper today. Now listen, kids. Are you tired of walking into your bathroom only to see the toilet seat up, and now you have to touch it to lower it? Well, you don't have to do that no more. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your flipper today. It attaches to the underside of your toilet seat where you never, ever have to touch your toilet seat ever again to flip your toilet seat up or flip your toilet seat down. It's the flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Get your flipper today at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thanks very much. 45 minutes after the hour, it is Thursday, March 26, 2015. In the NBA, just one game tonight. It'll be the Pacers taking on the Bucks. National Hockey League, here's the action that we have right now. 11 games total for tonight. NHL Network, it'll have the Bruins hosting the Ducks, Coyotes at the Sabres, Devils at the Capitals, Kings at the Islanders, Penguins at the Hurricanes, Panthers at Maple Leafs, Rangers at Senators, Sharks at Red Wings, Predators at Lightning, Canadiens at the Jets, and lastly, it'll be the Avalanche taking on the Canucks. In Major League Baseball, spring training, of course, winding down. Here's the action that we've got in the Grapefruit League, the finals from today. The Boston Red Sox prevail in extra innings against the Twins 5-4. The Orioles and the Tigers. This game goes to the Tigers 6-4. Braves 7, Pirates 5, Marlins 5, Cardinals 3, Rays 6, Yankees 5, Blue Jays 4, Phillies 1. One game in progress right now in the Grapefruit League. It's the Nationals leading the Mets 3-1. Dodgers over the White Sox right now. This is the Cactus League 8-3. Reds 9, Indians 1. Other game, Brewers pounding the Mariners 11-1. The Padres have just tied the game at 3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. One game on ESPN coming up in 13 minutes. It's the Angels at the Cubs, Rockies at the Rangers, Athletics at the Giants, and a final today, the Royals prevail 3-0 against the Seattle Mariners. That's the first of two updates for Sports World Radio. This update is brought to you by the Flipper at flipperflipper.com. When we come back from the commercial break and update, more Skippy Bayless Bash Hour, followed by at the top of the hour, Frank Sprankle coming on for his sports perspective.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, where we go? More Skippy Bayless Bash Hour, I guess, huh?
Skippy Bayless said he was not impressed by the Chicago Bulls beating the Toronto Raptors last night.
Why wasn't he impressed? See, when he makes a blanket statement like that, I don't like that because he doesn't say reasons why. The stupid hump.
He probably believes and states that, okay, the Bulls, they won their game, but we haven't seen much progress from them. Look where they're at in the Eastern Conference seedings.
Who cares where they're at? Who cares where they're at? The NBA season's long. Everybody just playing to play for the playoffs anyway. You know that, Skip. Shut the hell up. You know what? You know what? You know what? Hey, what are you going to say when Cleveland gets knocked out by Miami? What are you going to say then, Skip? Huh? Whistle me that one there, Dixie boy.
Then you know exactly what's going to end up happening. He'll come up with another excuse.
Of course.
My Cleveland Cavaliers lost. I need to move on, and I'm going to be so sad.
No, you know what he'll do? My Cleveland Cavaliers are gone, but my San Antonio Spurs are still there. Or my or my Golden State Warriors, or my Atlanta Hawks, or my Chicago Bulls, or my this or my that. You know what? I got my mice sitting right here between my legs. Bend over, shut up, and don't touch me.
Skippy Bayless says, I would be a great golfer than anybody.
You know what? You'd be a better golfer than Charles Barkley. How about you playing Charles Barkley? If you can't beat him, then just shut up. How about that first, Skip? Play Charles Barkley. If you can't beat him, then shut up.
You could go on his Twitter, Jeff, and you could say, hey, Skippy, I heard this quote saying that you'd be a better golfer. Why don't you challenge me in golf?
I challenge you.
How about Bayless against Escow, golf?
I'll challenge you on any golf course you want, Skip. Let's go play around. 18 holes. You want to play for money? We'll play for money because I'm going to walk away with your whole freaking paycheck you get from ESPN.
Better than that. How about this? You win, Jeff. Skippy has to have a bald head. He loses all his hair.
No, you know what? He loses. When I beat him, I want to sit in his chair for a week.
Oh, no. Something even better. You beat him, he can leave first take, and he'll be gone for good. You could make that a better bet, so you wouldn't have to listen to him
I don't
anymore.
want. No, I don't want to do that to the gentleman. I want to be able to have him be able to make money and live. You know, I'm not that sadistic. You know, so I tell you what. You lose, I want your chair for a week. A whole week, Monday through Friday. I want your chair for the week.
Skippy Bayless said this. I, Skippy Bayless, should be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in Dallas, Texas at AT&T Stadium next year.
He's jealous. He's jealous of Bill Simmons. He is so jealous of Bill Simmons. Because Bill Simmons was on Monday Night. That's what this whole thing is. I know it is. That's what this whole thing is about. He's jealous of Bill Simmons. That's exactly what it is. He's
Frank
way
goes, can
jealous.
Skip Bayless bowl?
No, I want to play him in golf. He mentioned it. I'm there. I want to play him in golf. That's what it is. He's jealous of Bill Simmons being on Monday Night Raw. He's jealous of Bill Simmons being, because Bill Simmons is going to be at WrestleMania. He's jealous that Bill Simmons has all these friends in the business, that he knows people. He's jealous of Bill Simmons. That's why he's ripping the WWE, because the WWE don't care about him and don't like him, so that's why he's ripping him.
My Boston Bruins should fire Claude Julien.
Well, I don't know about that. That's your thing right there. What do you think?
You know, Skippy, with you saying that, no, really, you think? I know perfectly well the Bruins are having a bad season and are not playing well. I don't need to be reminded about that. I don't know what's going to happen. Bruins make it, it's great. They don't make it, Claude Julien could be fired, and I happen to agree with him because there's been a little bit of rumors coming around that the Bruins coach, Claude Julien, could be fired. We'll see.
He's the Bruins coach?
Yes, Claude Julien
Okay,
is
let me ask you a
Bruins
question.
head coach.
Claude Julien is obviously from Canada with a name like
Oh,
that.
yes.
Right?
Oh, yes. He used to coach the Montreal Canadiens.
Okay, so do you like having a Canadian as your Boston Bruins coach?
He's not bad.
He's not bad?
He's not bad. I like what he did. He won a Stanley Cup championship for the Bruins in 2011, took him to the Cup in 2013.
Okay.
So I'm proud of what he's done. Skip Bayless said this. Hey, Jeff, listen to this. Charles Barkley should team up with Allen Iverson and purchase the Sacramento Kings.
Why?
I don't know. Just, again, that thing that he has for Charles Barkley.
He's got that thing for Barkley, doesn't he?
That is correct.
He's got that thing for Barkley, man. He's got a hard-on for Barkley so hard it's ridiculous.
And he's involving Allen Iverson.
I know. I know. How bad is that?
The Sacramento Kings. Barkley owning this. Barkley should be coached that. Make up your mind, Skippy.
I don't get it.
Skippy Bayless said Dana White should purchase the WWE.
He can't afford it. He can't afford it. He can't afford that, dude. There's no way he can afford that.
My Golden State Warriors, Jeff, will not be challenged in the Western Conference.
So basically, Skippy is saying that the Western Conference is going to be won by the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, and he says the Warriors are my team.
Oh, now, see, I told you.
We were waiting for it.
I told you it was coming. Didn't I? Didn't I tell you?
Yes, you did.
Because once Cleveland gets knocked out, that's where he's going. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Once he gets knocked out, that's where he's going.
And then he'll wear NBA championship Golden State Warriors gear.
Correct. Once he gets knocked out, that's where he's going. I'll bet my petunias on it.
More to add with the Golden State Warriors. My Golden State Warriors are not relevant because they're not from New York or Los Angeles.
No.
Nope. 57 minutes after the hour, Skippy Bayless came out and said that CBS is only watchable when Charles Barkley and the TNT crew is on air for the pregame show for the NCAA tournament.
Correct.
Skippy Bayless said, I wouldn't be surprised if Mayweather beats Pacquiao on May 2nd.
See, he's a Pacquiao guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I was watching those two guys talking today.
Right.
I was watching those two guys talking today. And Skippy's a Pacquiao guy, and who's a what's-its is a Stephen A is a Mayweather guy. And and today Skip said to him, "What are you going to if Pacquiao wins, Mayweather's going to want a rematch." That's why Pacquiao had to agree to all these clauses and everything. There's a rematch clause in there just in case. If Pacquiao wins, Pacquiao has to have a rematch. Pacquiao loses, Pacquiao don't get a rematch. Does that make any sense?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Not one bit, right?
Not one bit, because Skippy Bayless does this all the time where he just doesn't make sense with anything.
I just don't understand it either.
Frank goes, Manning has an excellent shot at beating Floyd. Doomsday is coming for Mayweather. No joke, on May 2nd.
Well, we're coming. Well, we're going to have HBO's very own boxing judge, Harold Lemon, on the show before the fight. And we're going to get all the information. So if you guys have questions, get ready for that. That's going to happen a day or two before the fight. So get ready for that, my friends.
And the last Skippy Bayless quote of the day before we bring Frank in at the top of the hour, my New York Jets will win the AFC East in 2015.
What is he smoking? Now they're his
I don't know
Jets?
what he's smoking, but I disagree with you a lot, Skippy, because...
Now they're his Jets?
That's right. Now he's saying they're my New York Jets, and my New York Jets will win the AFC East.
All of a sudden they're his New York Jets, but last year it was my New England Patriots this, my New England Patriots that. Don't they play in the same division, you jackass?
Yes, they do, the AFC East division.
What a dummy he is, man.
And on that note, it's the top of the hour. We have to run to commercial break. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, Frank Sprankle.
Oh, this should be fun. We'll be right back with Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
Here comes the big wind.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and now, the one and only, the big wind himself, each and every Tuesday and Thursday in the second hour of the show, Frank Sprankle. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing? Let me ask you guys, looking forward to another interesting weekend of college hoops?
Yes.
Okay, there's something I don't understand. I like the tournament myself. The tournament is great for sports. It makes me think spring, warm weather, and of course, the opening of the Major League Baseball season in a week and a half. But you guys love college basketball, right, Sean? You like college basketball?
I do like college basketball. We're right now at the Sweet 16.
Then let me ask you guys a question. Why do you hate college football so much?
This is boring.
It's
boring? Okay, why? Let me ask you.
Boring to watch. It's boring to watch on Saturday, and I'd rather shut the thing off and go watch a movie or get out of the house before NFL Real Talk comes.
Why is it boring, may I ask?
It's too much. Too much to watch. You got teams on everywhere, and it's like ABC, ESPN. I don't even spend my time watching the stinking lousy, pathetic College Game Day.
Oh, I don't typically see College Game Day every week, but I try to watch the big college games. College football, I'll tell you what, it is one thing about college football, it is the best college sport there is. It triumphs basketball. I mean, just the atmosphere. I've been in many college football stadiums. I've never covered college basketball. I've covered college football. I've been to Notre Dame. I've been to the Big House. I've been to some of these big college football stadiums. If you were with me when I was covering college football, you would love the atmosphere.
That's hard to say there, Frank, with college football. I know Jeff just gets so tired of it. I don't even watch the Saturday games. I don't even watch the bowl games on New Year's Day. I shut everything off. I don't even care about the national championship.
Well, then you got an alternative because you always have the Winter Classic now.
I hate.
Wait, what do you do on New Year's Day?
What do I do on
New Year's? Celebrate the New Year and figure out what your New Year's resolutions are.
You know what I do on New Year's Day?
You know what? I break my New Year's resolutions within 15 minutes of the New Year.
Frank, Jeff had something to say.
You know what I like? You know what I like to do on New Year's Day?
Yes.
What? Watch anything but football.
Anything but football.
Anything.
Hey, there you go,
Anything but college football. Let me rephrase that. Anything but college football.
Okay, let me ask you. So you watch hockey on New Year's Day?
If I'm up in time.
All right, so you will try to watch the Winter Classic.
Yes.
If you are up.
If I'm up in time.
All right, but hold on. What is it? College basketball? So you guys don't like college basketball because it's not as big as college football in terms of too much. You don't have all of these games on as opposed to college basketball during the season.
Yeah, I need all these games on. Yeah, I need all these games on like I need a freaking hole in the head.
I don't understand it. One thing, college football is awesome.
No, it's not.
It's awesome.
Oh, cut that out.
God, it's so boring.
Awesome with extra sauce.
No, it's not. You know what? It's boring with a capital B.
Moving on to the next big story so we can get away from college football. Frank, I know this is your segment. I wanted to get into this big game in the NBA last night, National Basketball Association. Jeff, you've been wanting the Thunder to collapse? That dream still could come true. Last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder went into San Antonio, thought they could get another game and maybe creep up with Dallas for the number 7 seed. Didn't happen. San Antonio, the red-hot NBA champions, they have won 11 of their last 13 games. They prevailed by a score of 130-91. What's your guys' take on the San Antonio Spurs right now?
Well, actually, that was the late game on ESPN after the Bulls-Raptors last night, which I watched in its entirety. In fact, I watched that game on ESPN and CSN. But that Western Conference is very interesting, and it seems that that's how it has been in the NBA the last few years with the Western Conference. And one thing about the Oklahoma City Thunder, say what you want, many people are arguing, is what Russell Westbrook the MVP of this league? Certainly there's got to be some consideration here. Whether he wins the MVP or not, I don't know. But you know this. Russell Westbrook, with his accomplishments recently, all these triple-doubles, he's going to get some consideration. Because if you didn't have Russell Westbrook, Sean, if you didn't have Russell Westbrook, where would the Thunder be right now?
True. And I have to say this, too. All I can say, Oklahoma City, you make the playoffs. Good luck trying to beat the team that is expected to be the representative of the Western Conference. And that would be not the Spurs, but the Golden State Warriors. We'll get to them in a sec, but I don't see Oklahoma City getting past the first round. They'll lose to the Warriors. There's going to be a lot of questions in OKC where the team will go. And you wonder, too, Jeff and Frank, what's the future for Scotty Brooks? Will Scotty Brooks be the head coach next year, or is Scotty Brooks looking for another head coaching job somewhere else?
That's a good question. Really a difficult question, because if you look at Scott Brooks, it's not as if they've had bad seasons in his time in Oklahoma City. They have been very good seasons. They have been championship competitors year in and year out. They went to the NBA Finals just 3 years ago. It seems they have been contenders that go to the finals every year. Something tells me that maybe they don't give up on Scott Brooks quite yet. However, another bad season, potentially. But I think for Scotty Brooks, he stays in Oklahoma City.
What's your thoughts, Jeff? Is Scotty Brooks the head coach for the Thunder next year, or is he gone if they lose the first round?
He's gotten screwed this year because he's lost all his top players at one point in this time during the season this year. That's why they're
early on in the season he lost his superstars.
Yeah, well, he still doesn't have Kevin Durant playing at all. That's why they're in the 8th seed. That's why they're where they're at.
I think it would be unfair to relieve him of his duties based on that. You need a full season. I don't think the team, in this case the Oklahoma City Thunder, have given up on Scott Brooks. I think they are doing all they can. The problem is they are short on manpower, huge manpower.
I agree with that. And for the Thunder to be playing this well, they have been playing better, but they're horrible on the road. Looking at the stats right now, Oklahoma City, 14-22 on the road. That's not going to get it done in the playoffs.
I guarantee if they had Durant, they would be a lot better than that. I'm not saying they'd be the number 1 seed or even the number 2 seed, but they would be certainly higher than 7 potentially.
Now, my question is, can the Phoenix Suns overtake Oklahoma City for the number 8 seed? And can New Orleans overtake them for the number 8 seed? Jeff, you've been saying all along you'd like to see the Pelicans in there. What's your thoughts, Frank, about Phoenix and New Orleans?
That's certainly going to be an interesting matchup right there to see if Phoenix or New Orleans can get into those seeds. I'll tell you guys something. It's very confusing here because Oklahoma City, they've been able to sneak in, but as far as Phoenix and New Orleans, don't count them out. This is an interesting time here, this last half month of the season. A month from now, we're going to be in the playoffs.
That's correct, deeper into the playoffs, and I know Jeff said this yesterday before we brought Ron Gallo in. Jeff, you pointed out, why make the first round so long in the NBA playoffs? And Frank, this is a question for you I've been wanting to ask for a long time. Should we start shortening it? Jeff says we should eliminate a round.
Of course. Oh, goodness. Here's what I think should be done in the NBA and the NHL. It will not happen, but the playoffs are a season in both leagues. Gentlemen, the playoffs in the NHL and the NBA are a season among themselves here. Think about this. It takes 2 months, 2 full months from the opening playoff games in the first round till somebody hoists the Stanley Cup or is given the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Now, if you recall, until 2002, the first round was a best of 5 in the NBA, not the case in the NHL. You know what I would like to see? If you want to have all these teams in the postseason, fine. But for the first 2 rounds in both leagues, the NBA and the NHL, it's a best of 5. And then once you get to the respective conference finals in both leagues, it becomes a best of 7 and then a best of 7 in each championship round.
I mentioned to Jeff, too,
Won't
about
happen, no. Money.
Sorry, Frank. I mentioned this, too, with Jeff, with the Golden State Warriors. Congratulations to them. It has been 39 years since the Golden State Warriors have clinched the Pacific Division. I was watching Inside the NBA after Golden State won against Portland a few nights ago. They're all saying it's championship or bust for the Golden State Warriors. I happen to agree. This has been the best Warriors team since the mid-'70s with Rick Barry. Remember, the Warriors won it in 75. They've had the ups and downs, and basketball was really gone in the Bay Area. It's most certainly back, and I didn't expect the Warriors to be this good, but look how great they've been. They're 34-2 at home. They're 24-11 on the road. I'm picking Golden State, in my opinion, to represent the Western Conference. They're outstanding. Who can stop them?
Let me ask you this. If Golden State makes it to the NBA Finals, is that an accomplishment among itself here? Because let's understand, you have Steve Kerr as a young head coach here, relatively new. You have a team that has not been to the NBA Finals before. Not these guys. You mentioned 1975. We're talking about 40 years ago.
Correct.
40 years ago. I don't think there's pressure for them to win the NBA Finals, depending on who they play in the East.
Josh, though, made a very good opinion that Memphis could be a tough test for the Golden State Warriors. What would your guys' thoughts be, Jeff, about Golden State-Memphis Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, Jeff.
I would like that. I'm okay with that.
They would be new teams, kind of not the same old teams that we've seen from the last few years.
Yeah, Memphis was in the Western Conference
cool
Finals
with
just
that.
a couple years ago against San Antonio.
And Frank, your thoughts? Golden State, Memphis. These would be like two young teams going at it in the Western Conference.
It would be superstars on the rise. It would be teams that you're not used to seeing normally. It's not like it's Oklahoma City that has been struggling, the Los Angeles Clippers, the San Antonio Spurs. This would be fun to see because, first of all, for either organization, it would be their first trip to the NBA Finals. Well, of course, the first trip for many people as far as the Golden State Warriors in this era. But the Memphis Grizzlies, they started off in Vancouver. They've never been to the championship round. This would be what I would call new blood in the Western Conference. I would love to see that.
How about this one? We move to the Western.
Okay, you know what? Let's get to the West when we come back from our break.
Eastern. Okay, sure.
You know what? We're going to run to a quarter of the hour commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and Frank Sprankle on Sports World Radio. We'll be right back.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear. And do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and the big win, Frank Sprankle, joining us in the second hour like he does each and every Tuesday and Thursday. Where we going, boys?
All right, on our last topic that we talked about with the Western Conference, we moved to the Eastern Conference. Last night, the Miami Heat, who are kind of injured, were banged up. They went into Boston and defeated the Boston Celtics 93-86, which means with the Heat winning, we're getting very, very closer to possibly seeing a matchup that I called a few weeks ago. Miami against Cleveland, Eastern Conference quarterfinals.
Oh, guys, by the way, I got to tell you, so I'm not going to say it's breaking news here, but I'm reading an article here.
Don't hurt yourself.
Apparently, did you guys talk about this, about Kevin Love possibly wanting to be shipped out of Cleveland?
Not possibly wanting to be. It's going to happen because those two guys don't get along.
Well, here's the thing. I just want to say, because this is huge involving the Cleveland Cavaliers, and if they do meet, well, here's another thing. If they meet in a playoff series, forget about the regular season, don't you have to have a degree of chemistry as you head into the playoffs? Love confirmed this to be true during an interview with ESPN Radio's Mike and Mike show, and also explained how he's adjusting to a lesser role. So the question is, what is it with Kevin Love? Is he not happy in this lesser role? What's the deal?
Okay, you want to know what the deal is? Number one, he's not happy because he's taking a lesser role. And number two, LeBron James doesn't trust him. When the game is on the line, say if LeBron's driving and he needs to pass the ball out to a three-point guy and Love is standing there in the one corner by himself, or I think it's Johnson or Jacob or something like that is standing in the other, he's going to give it to the other guy. He does not trust Love to make the shot.
Okay, Jeff, and here you'll agree with me 100%. I know you will on this point that I'm about to make. This is showing us that David Blatt is not doing a good job coaching.
He's not coaching the team.
Between LeBron and Kevin Love, then somebody's got to step in, and that somebody at all times has got to be the head coach, and that is where David Blatt's apparently failing at.
I hate to tell you, David Blatt's just the figure there, the figure of the head coach. He's not the head coach of that team. LeBron James is the head coach of that team.
Yeah, it's like Michael Jordan was in the 90s with the Bulls, but they had great chemistry for the most part.
But I'm telling you right now, LeBron James does not trust Kevin Love to make the shot when it counts. Therefore, they don't go and hang out after this. They don't hang out together. They're not getting along. Remember now, boys and girls, at the beginning of the season, he was traded and did not re-sign. So therefore, he becomes a free agent at the end of this season. Also, LeBron James becomes a free agent at the end of this season. I'm telling you now, Phil Jackson and the New York Knicks are going to go hard at Kevin Love. Hard at Kevin Love. Hard at LeBron James. They want one of them. They can't get Brent James, they'll take Love and somebody else. If they get LeBron James, then you got LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony and a young kid coming up in college. There's your three. Ding, dang, dong. Let's go.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. Would it be wise with what we have seen in Cleveland, how you have this lack of trust on the part of LeBron James and Kevin Love not being appreciative of it? You can't have Kevin Love and LeBron James on the same team here.
Well, let me ask you, that's why you haven't seen Kevin Love in the game in the fourth quarter.
If it ain't going to work in Cleveland, then is it going to work in Madison Square Garden?
No, but I could tell you something right now. Either Love or LeBron is leaving that team. And if they both leave, then Cleveland is screwed. But I'm telling you right now, Love went in there. He did not re-sign his contract. He's a free agent. Knicks got plenty of money. He said in a statement before this season, before he was even traded to Cleveland, he wants to play in New York. Phil Jackson knows that. I know deep in my soul that Phil Jackson has a plan. He's got all this money. He's got an ass-kicking pick in the NBA draft this year. He's got a couple of really good picks further down in the draft. I know in my soul, I know what he's doing.
Let me ask you this, because Sean was talking about what he called to be a first-round playoff series potentially between Miami and Cleveland.
And that's what's going to end up happening. Miami will play Cleveland, and you know what? That's going to create ratings through the roof.
Well, I'll tell you something right now.
I would love to see it go 7.
If Miami and Cleveland meet in the first round at his schedule, and the way it looks right now, that's how it's going to happen. They still have one more meeting before the end of the season in Cleveland yet. Miami leads the series 1-2. They still have one more meeting. I want Miami Heat to knock out the Cleveland Cavaliers in Miami. Cleveland's going to have the home court in here, so they're going to have to do it either sweep it or do it in Game 5.
Okay,
Game 6.
That
or
game
Game
is
6.
next week.
I'm
now,
sorry.
a week from tonight, Jeff and Sean, that game that you were talking about, the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers, that is a week from tonight, Thursday in Cleveland, and the game will be nationally broadcast by TNT.
I want to see Miami go in there and beat them.
I think with Miami, they get the 7th seed. I'm looking at the schedule right now. Tomorrow they go to Atlanta. They host Detroit. They host San Antonio, who's playing very well right now. The game's on TNT March 31st, Tuesday.
Well, Sean, the way it looks, I have the records right in front of me. Miami's 33-38, Boston's 31-40, and Milwaukee's 35-36. So it could feasibly happen that Miami could jump up to the 6th seed and Milwaukee will jump down to the 7th seed. I don't. I want Miami to stay right where they're at. So freaking Cleveland and Miami play in the first round, and Cleveland and LeBron James gets knocked out of the freaking playoffs. That's what I want. But I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you as God is my freaking witness, and so is Frank Sprankle and Sean Mann and Josh Lopez. The fix is in. The NBA will not let Cleveland lose to Miami.
Okay, I'm going to say this about a week from tonight. I'm obviously doing a show with you guys a week from tonight. I'm looking forward to it. But I'll say this. I'm getting the flock out of here ASAP at the top of the hour because I'm going downstairs to be watching the Heat Cavaliers game on TNT
fine.
1 week from tonight.
That's
I don't know
fine.
about you guys.
That's fine. That's going to be a prelude to the series coming up. I'm more important watching the series. I want to watch the series, and I want Miami to win the first game in Cleveland, and then go home and sweep the next game and be 3-1 up. Go back to Miami, lose that game. Go back to Cleveland, lose that game. Go back to Miami in Game 6, I believe it is, and win the whole freaking thing.
Right. And you know that if indeed it does come to Sean's prediction here, Cleveland and Miami in the opening round in Cleveland for Game 1, you know that's going to be a Saturday or Sunday ABC game.
I have to point this out.
That whole series is going to be on TV. You know that.
Absolutely, but I have to point this out. How about when LeBron James
Laura's
steps
in the house
in Miami? He steps on the court in Miami. The kind of reaction he will get. Him going up against the team he helped win 2 NBA championships, which was 2012 and 2013.
You know what I want to see in Game 6 when there's like a minute left to go in the game and Cleveland's down by 8 and there's no or down by 10 and there's no chance for them to win and they're going to be knocked out. I want to hear the fans start chanting, "Hey," or goodbye. See you, LeBron. Start chanting, "Hey, goodbye."
Yeah, right. That's a White Sox tradition.
What will make me sick to no end, which really tired me out, was what happened 5 years ago and even last year, how the ratings went big, where everybody was deciding where LeBron would play. Remember in 2010, throughout the whole summer, everybody was wondering where he was going to go, and then he made that idiotic decision, which I found to be a waste of time. Same thing with kind of last year. At least he didn't have Jim Gray interview him and say, "I'm going to go take my talents back to Cleveland." I hope I don't have to see that again, but it's going to happen because everybody's going to be asking, where are you going to play LeBron? And I think, Jeff, with what you said and what you've already said, that with Phil Jackson having the plan that he wants to go to the Big Apple and play for New York, I can understand that. He's got connections there. He likes New York. He's friends with Carmelo Anthony. And if he goes there, the Knicks are going to be the power of the Eastern Conference come 2015.
Well, I hope LeBron – I really don't want to see LeBron in a Knick jersey. I would rather see Kevin Love in a Knick jersey.
Let me ask you this question. Go back to Christmas Day when LeBron did return to South Beach. I don't know if you guys paid attention to the ovation. I know I did. But the ovation was not a harsh reaction. It was pretty much, I would have to say, a 50-50 split. It wasn't the case as it was in 2010, the fall of 2010, when LeBron went back to Cleveland as a member of the Miami Heat.
That.
Yeah, that was an event. That was a Thursday night game on TNT. I'll never forget watching that. It was an early December game in that.
Right.
In
Cleveland fans said there were some fans that said, "We are betrayed. We felt betrayed. We were screwed because of because this guy brought everything to us, and then he ditches and he goes to Miami."
They weren't like that in Miami, though, because of the fact – I don't know if it has to do with the fact that Miami had won 2 titles at the expense of LeBron James.
I think it did.
What about the fact, too, Sean, that you don't think of Miami, like Los Angeles, as being a big sports town because you have so much to do in South Florida, particularly South Beach here. For some people, it is a retirement community. The Heat, even when LeBron was playing in Miami, they weren't leading the league in attendance in those years. I don't think Miami is as big of a sports town, obviously, as opposed to Cleveland.
I don't think so, too. I think with Miami, it's like a lot of people like to go, of course, to the restaurants. They like to go to the beaches. There's a lot of other things probably to do in that area of Miami, Florida. I think so. But I think it's because, Frank, he deserved to get a round of applause because Heat fans were very appreciative of the fact that this guy and this man went down to Miami and helped that team win 2 NBA championships. When they lost against Dallas 2011, Jeff and I did so many shows about it. We enjoyed the fact that Dallas beat them because apparently what was so sickening, and I got so tired of it, is how the media blew the whole thing out of proportion about, the Heat lost. They didn't even give the Mavericks too much credit, and I thought that was really horrible that they didn't give Dallas enough credit. And everybody was saying, well, why did the Heat lose? How come they couldn't get it done? Will LeBron James ever win an NBA championship? He was very close of losing it. He was very close of losing it in 2012. He should have lost in 2012 to the Celtics, and he should have most definitely lost the NBA Finals in 2013. LeBron James, in my opinion, is lucky to have 2 NBA rings. He is still a failure in the playoffs.
Okay, let me ask you this. I got the interpretation here that if you go back to 2011 and 2012, especially in the postseason where the Heat was intense, where everything was intense here, that I used to make a joke, and I think this was reality here. I used to say that that America's team was any team playing against the Miami Heat.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think it was because there was so much hatred for LeBron James until he won that first title in Miami.
Tough.
Everybody, I'll remember this too, the night that they lost against Dallas, how Facebook just blew up. Everybody was excited when Dallas won that, and I was happy too, especially with the fact that Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, 2 classless sports athletes, mock Dirk Nowitzki, who was hit with flu.
Yeah, remember that.
And I thought, that is so unsportsmanlike. I said, I hope you 2 lose, you 2 thugs.
And sure enough, they did.
And I loved it.
Hope you 2 thugs lose.
Because I loved it. I thought it was great because they lost. And how about the time you watched when Chris Bosh went on the floor and he was crying and James and Wade were walking off like babies in poor sports?
Hey, we got to run. Hey, we got to run to an update, our final update, right?
Yes, we do.
We got our final update. Let's take care of our final update right now. This update is brought to you by the Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today. Are you tired of walking into your toilet seat and seeing your seat up, and then you got to go grab it and put it down? Well, fret no more, kids. Never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again because you'll have a Flipper. That's right. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today. It attaches to the underside of your toilet seat where you never, ever have to touch your toilet seat ever again to flip it up or flip it down. It's called the Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Get yours today at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the final update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 31 minutes after the hour. It is the 26th of March, 2015, Thursday. We are live, and here's the update. Ducks at the Bruins. Right now, no score. The game is on the NHL Network with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first period. The Coyotes lead the Sabres 1-0. Capitals lead the Devils 1-0. The game is tied between the Kings and the Islanders at 0 first period. Penguins and the Hurricanes, that game is tied at 1. Panthers at the Maple Leafs, Rangers at the Senators, Sharks at the Red Wings, Predators at the Lightning, Canadians at the Jets, and lastly, it'll be the Avalanche taking on the Vancouver Canucks. NBA, 1 game for tonight. It will be the Milwaukee Bucks, hosting the Indiana Pacers. That game starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Major League Baseball, here is the game going on in progress right now. Bottom of the second, Cactus League. This game is on ESPN. The Cubs lead 1-0 against the Angels. 2 other games today. It'll be the Rockies taking on the Rangers, Athletics at the Giants. Finals today, the Dodgers over the White Sox 9-6. Reds taking care of business today against the Indians 13-2. Brewers do the same thing, 15-1 over Seattle. The Royals, they shut out the Mariners 3-0. The Padres and the Diamondbacks, that game ends in a tie at 3-3. Grapefruit League, top of the 8th inning. The Mets lead the Nationals 4-3. The Red Sox prevail 5-4 in extra innings. Tigers 6, Orioles 4. The Braves beat the Pirates 7-5. Marlins 5, Cardinals 3. The Rays 6, the Yankees 5. The Blue Jays 4, and the Phillies 1. In the NCAA tournament, college basketball is back again with the games that we have going on right now. Wichita State is playing Notre Dame with 10 minutes and 54 seconds left. This game's on CBS. Notre Dame leads. They're the number 3 seed against number 7 Wichita State, 20-12. Other games, it'll be number 4 North Carolina taking on number 1 Wisconsin. Number 5 West Virginia at number 1 Kentucky. That's the second game on CBS following Wichita and Notre Dame. And North Carolina, Wisconsin is on TBS. Number 6, Xavier at number 2, Arizona. That game on TBS. And throughout the weekend, a lot more Sweet 16 action for college basketball. That is the final update for Sports World Radio. This brought to you by The Flipper at flipperflipper.com. When we come back from the break and from this update, more sports talk with Jeff Eskow, Frank Sprankle, and Sean Mann.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Radio, Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, and Frank Sprankle, bringing you 2 hours of sports fun today here on our Thursday edition of Sports World Radio. All right, boys, where are we going next? Hello?
Hey, guys, what's up? Let's talk some more sports. Come on.
All right.
Waiting for this all day.
What the hell was that all about?
I don't know.
You didn't hear me?
I don't know. Maybe we're being pirated.
You didn't hear me?
I did hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, I hear you now. I hear your great voice.
The hell was that? So, okay, where are we going now, boys? And I get nothing from you?
All right, here we go. Here's the next story.
Toledo. Both of you falling asleep on me? I'm that exciting? You both falling asleep on me?
We got another story. Hold on. Here's the next story, gentlemen. It may be difficult to find a middle ground in which Pete Rose would be reinstated by Major League Baseball, but limited in the type of work he could do for a club. Commissioner Rob Manfred told ESPN.com Thursday, as we all talked about this a few weeks ago, what should happen with Pete Rose. I'm glad Rob Manfred is thinking about saying, you know, it would be so cool to see Pete Rose get reinstated.
So am I.
Jeff?
Me too.
And this would be for the Hall of Fame, too.
Good.
That's where he needs to be. You know what's interesting, guys? Think about this. If Pete Rose had never been banned from baseball, he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer in 1992.
You bet your sweet petunias.
Think about this. He had to sit out for 5 seasons. That's protocol for anybody that
You
played
bet your sweet
game
petunias.
baseball. But it's interesting. I was thinking about this a couple days ago. If Pete Rose had not been banned from baseball, he would have been inducted 23 years ago into the Hall of Fame because he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, class of 1992.
He deserves to be in there.
It's 23 years. It's 23 years overdue.
Overdue. Correctamundo. He deserves to be in there. How do you have Charlie Hustle not in the freaking Baseball Hall of Fame?
That
and he never tainted the
no
game.
sense
But here's what bothers me. Why are guys that are admitted PED and steroid users on the ballot? They're not going to get any votes. Look, their opportunity is shot, but at least they have ballot access. Pete Rose doesn't have ballot access, and he never tainted the game.
I remember, Jeff, from previous shows that you and I have done since we've been here almost 7 years in October, you have said that, I know how you are about the word if Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, or Alex Rodriguez, or any of these PED users make it to the Hall of Fame before Pete Rose does in Cooperstown, there is something really wrong with baseball.
It's a travesty. If they get in before Pete Rose, it's a travesty. Pete Rose never tainted the game like they did. Never.
They can. And you know what? Here's the thing. If you are on the ballot, technically speaking, you can get into the Hall of Fame. Well, let's take Mark McGwire, for example, here. Mark McGwire can get into the Hall of Fame. Now, granted, it's a long shot for him, but technically speaking, he can be voted into Cooperstown, and the guy took performance-enhancing drugs and cheated the game.
Yeah, well, he's not going to be, but technically he can. You're right.
Technically he can, but Pete Rose technically can't.
Correct.
For a cardinal sin that, quite honestly, it hurted nobody. It hurted nobody in the clubhouse.
Quite honestly, he didn't do it while he was playing. He did it while he was managing, so that's two different things.
The fact is, exactly. Thank you.
You're punishing a gentleman for his baseball career for something he did while his baseball career was over and his managerial career started.
Guys, why do I not want to visit Cooperstown until... And I've never been to Cooperstown. I've never been to Baseball Hall of Fame. But why do I not want to visit it until Pete Rose is in Cooperstown?
And the point is, PEDs and gambling are two different things.
Yes, they are. Big time.
Okay, but did the gambling have, as a manager, when he was managing the Reds in the late 80s, did the gambling affect the performance on the field? I don't think so.
Well, it could have, because he could have brought in a pitcher that he knew that he say he picked his team to freaking lose, he could bring in a pitcher that'll make him lose.
All right, possibly, but we don't know about that for a fact.
Correct.
Here's the big thing that had happened. Manfred had said earlier this month that he had received a formal request from Rose to lift his lifetime ban from baseball, which was imposed by the commissioner Bart Giamatti.
Bart
Giamatti.
Giamatti, thank you very much. In 1989, the all-time hits leader, previous appeals from commissioners Fay Vincent and Bud Selig were never considered.
I want to speak about that. If you take a look at Bart Giamatti, who died shortly after the fact of a massive heart attack, you had Fay Vincent and then Bud Selig. These are two guys that knew Giamatti. To my knowledge, Manfred has no ties whatsoever to Giamatti. So maybe that has to go into the consideration here on the part of Manfred, is that he does not have any loyalty to Giamatti because I don't think he even met Giamatti.
Yeah, but
Giamatti, Vincent knew Giamatti.
Yeah, but he has ties to freaking the old commissioner.
Yeah, but not to Giamatti.
No, but he has ties to Selig.
Yeah, but okay, so is this going to be a generational
I don't
thing
know.
here that you have one commissioner that has loyalty to another and it's passed on to another commissioner?
I don't know. At one point, he was Selig's right-hand man.
Okay, but my point is, though, he never knew Giamatti.
Correct.
So my point is maybe that has to go into the consideration here. But the point is, Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame for what he did as a player, in which he never gambled in his time as a player, at least not that we know of.
Correct.
He's
totally
not guilty.
Agree. I totally agree. Guilty. Totally agree with you 100%. 100% totally agree on that.
And you know what? These ball players need to play the way Pete Rose. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Could you imagine, gentlemen, I'm going to mention because of your favorite team here, Sean, the Boston Red Sox, now that they got Pablo Sandoval, the Panda.
Bastard.
Okay, my point is, you guys were talking about the Panda earlier. Could you imagine the Panda playing for Pete Rose?
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you one thing. Pete Rose wouldn't let him be that fat.
Bingo. Absolutely. Because you know what? These guys, including Pablo Sandoval, they don't play with the energy and the intensity that Pete Rose did in the 60s,
Correct.
70s, and 80s.
Correct. That's a true statement right there.
And not only that, the All-Star, this is the year Pete Rose has got to be reinstated back in baseball because the All-Star game is in Cincinnati. I can't stress that enough. It's important that Pete Rose is reinstated this year based on the fact not only is he getting older, but the All-Star game is in Cincinnati. Gentlemen, wouldn't it be the perfect year?
Well,
2015
Frank,
for Pete Rose, 26 years later to be reinstated.
Frank, they've already announced that Pete Rose will be involved in the All-Star game this year in Cincinnati.
I don't think that's enough.
I know. I don't think that's enough either, but it's nice to know that Major League Baseball is letting him get involved.
Yeah,
who can forget?
Maybe that's the beginning of the end for Pete Rose. Maybe that's the beginning where he'll get reinstated and get into the Hall of Fame. Maybe this is the beginning.
Hold on, Sean. I don't even have to say something. Can Pete Rose throw out the first pitch of the All-Star game?
You know what?
Not,
we'll talk about.
I don't know that for a fact.
Frank, we'll talk about that when we come back from our final break of the day. Right? We got our final break of the day, so let's get to our final break. We'll talk more about the Pete Rose situation when we come back here on Sports World Radio, and then we got some other stuff to talk about. You're listening to Jeff Escal, Sean Mann, and Frank Sprankle on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escal, Sean Mann, and Frank Sprankle with you today here on Sports World Radio. In the second hour of our show, Frank always joins us every Tuesday and Thursday. Final segment of the show. We've been going on a nice hour and 45-minute journey. We got about 15 minutes left. Let's continue the journey and some more of this Pete Rose talk. I know that Josh doesn't like it. Every time Frank comes in, we end up talking about Pete Rose. But it's a big thing with the All-Star game being in Cincinnati, and I know that as it gets closer to that All-Star break, we'll probably talk a lot more about it. So I'm going to promise you something, Josh. After today, after this, we're done with Pete Rose talking about it until we get to the All-Star game. Okay?
Unless Pete Rose is reinstated beforehand.
Correct.
I can't wait when that Midsummer Classic comes. We give our first half awards like we always have done very well with Jeff, and we talk about our perspective about what kind of a reception he'll get. I mentioned earlier or a little while ago, and I was thinking to myself, think about that time, and I'll never forget that time with Pete Rose when he got interviewed by Jim Gray. Who can remember? You remember that? October 99? It was the all-century baseball team, and all the players are getting interviewed, and I'll never forget when Jim Gray did that. That made a little bit of a chain reaction there before Game 2 of the World Series.
All right, here's the thing. I think what Jim Gray was trying, and it was in Atlanta, remember? It was in
Yes,
Atlanta.
it was. Yep.
And it was a great occasion. Here's the thing about Pete Rose being interviewed by Jim Gray. Jim Gray kind of wanted 15 minutes of fame because I think Jim Gray wanted to try to get him to admit to betting on baseball. Now, here's the thing. You don't discuss that there. If you want to discuss, hey, how's the reinstatement process going? It had been 10 years since Pete Rose had been banned from baseball. If you want to ask the question, how is the reinstatement process going? That's fine. As a matter of fact, Pete Rose did give, if I recall correctly, an update on how the reinstatement process was going. But what Jim Gray did was wrong and disrespectful because that's a great occasion, and we're not thinking about about gambling. We're not thinking about what had happened in the past. We're just trying to celebrate a great night. If you want to ask about the reinstatement process, fine, but don't try to interrogate him. Don't make this like it's like you're on 60 Minutes.
I have a question for both you, Jeff, and Frank. What would be the first thing you would say to Rob Manfred about this situation with Pete Rose?
I can tell you what I would say this. What will it Pete Rose to get back into baseball? Just that
What's
simple
the
question.
decision
What
going
will
to
it
come
take?
down to, right?
I listen. Just put him in the just put him on the ballot already, so we can go into the Hall of Fame. Because
Yeah,
damn
give him the
well,
Hall
once
of
he goes
Fame.
on the ballot, he's going in. You know that, right? Once he goes on the ballot, he's going in, right?
Hold on. I don't know if that's necessarily a guarantee because some of the writers may look at the gambling of his. I know it's wrong, but they'll look at the tax evasion here because he did serve time in 1990 for tax evasion here. I'm sure some of these writers may hold a grudge against Pete Rose.
Well,
I
I hate to tell you something, Frank, but most of the writers that were there in Pete Rose's days and who have votes are gone and passed already. A lot of these writers who have the votes now never got to see him play one bit.
That's true.
Then you know what? They need to see him sliding head first in the third base going 30 feet in the air.
I agree.
They need to see him hit the baseball. They need to see him hustle down the first base line, playing like there was no baseball going to be in existence tomorrow.
I agree with you, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that these young writers who have the vote on the Hall of Fame, I think most of them are going to put him in just because they know about his legacy. And I can guarantee you they've seen stuff, and they know the difference between what he did as a manager and what he did as a player. They
Guys,
can tell
wouldn't
that
that be the Hall of Fame of all Hall of Fame inductions?
Oh, it's going. Oh, are you kidding me? I hope he's alive when he gets in.
Yeah, I hope this is not a punishment here.
Correct.
Manfred's popularity, I didn't want to interrupt here, but Manfred's popularity is going to be so big that if he makes this decision and say, I'm going to get it done, I'm going to reinstate him into baseball,
point, Sean.
make sure
Good
that he
point.
gets it, because I like what Manfred's trying to do. Because he's trying to be a better commissioner, in my opinion, than Bud Selig. I did not like Bud Selig with a lot of his decisions he made.
Oh.
And then when he was asked about it, I think I remember Bud Selig just dismissed the idea and didn't really care about reinstating Pete Rose. Here's something he said. He goes, quote, "While I don't dismiss the idea that there may be some sort of a middle ground," Manfred said, "I think that it is difficult to sit in New York and monitor a situation where somebody is working at a club, but he's allowed to do X but not Y. But there's not enough eyes and ears to do that."
Sean, I got to tell you, Jeff, Sean just made a valid point here. Could you imagine Rob Manfred's popularity? Should he allow?
Hey! Both of you guys are talking at the same time. You know that, right?
Right. Well, we can't see each other.
Well, then let Sean finish saying what he's saying, Frank, and then you start talking. How about that?
I just finished the quotation.
Well, I didn't hear the end of it because Frank's big bag of wind opened up.
Hey, I got a big.
So say it again, Sean, please.
All right, I'll repeat this. Maybe it can be worked out, maybe not, but it is a concern of mine, certainly.
Thank you. Now, Frank, go ahead.
Sean does make an excellent point here about about Rob Manfred. Should he allow Pete Rose? That would take his popularity to enormous highs.
It would, I'll tell you one thing. It would make him the most popular commissioner right now and probably the most popular baseball commissioner of all time.
And I'm going to say this about Seelig. Now, I don't know if this is a fact or not, but it wouldn't surprise me that after the strike of 1994, he knew players that were juicing up. He knew of these big names that were huge in terms of hitting the home runs on PEDs and steroids.
Of course he did.
It wouldn't surprise me if Bud Selig knew about it and just turned the other cheek.
Of course, that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. He knew what was going on, and he stuck his head in the sand.
Bingo.
And think about all the...
And then he ended up getting screwed.
Think about the success that Pete Rose brought to the Cincinnati Reds. He was really at the Reds. He won 2 World Series championships. He was the manager of the team. He had the experience. He had, a 44-game hitting streak? I think it was like in 1985, which was pretty
78.
incredible. 78, yeah. And he was 12 away from tying Joe DiMaggio, who had 56-game hitting streak in 1941. So that's a pretty interesting stat. He had done a lot for the game, and he was fast. He had speed. He was a great player. I had a lot of respect for him, and I know the gambling hurt him, but I don't blame Pete Rose for saying, look, I dedicated a lot of my time to Major League Baseball. Please just reinstate me and get this over with. It's 26 years, and yet there's been no solution to this whole alternative.
I agree.
I just figured out something. We should figure out what would be a great job for Pete Rose in baseball, because I hate to say this. I think at his age he's not going to get a managerial job.
You want to know what a great that would be for Pete Rose?
Why?
Maybe to work at the Reds front office.
Let me ask you a question.
His heart's with the Cincinnati Reds.
Let me ask you a question. Why does he have to be involved in baseball? Just put him in the Hall of Fame. Why does he have to work for baseball? Just put him in the Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose, listen, I'm going to tell you this, Jeff. I'm pretty certain that Pete Rose would want to be in baseball until the day he dies.
I get that. I understand that. But what is he going to do? He's 70-plus years old. He's not gonna manage any team. That's out. He's not going to be a hitting coach. That's out. He's not going to be doing any of that stuff.
Wait, what about a bench coach?
Why? No, you don't know.
Bench coach is pretty much the manager. It's pretty much like the chief of staff on a presidential administration.
Exactly.
You go to your chiefs of staff, your manager goes to your bench.
You don't want him freaking having a manager's ear. Okay? You just put him in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't need to work for Major League Baseball. Let him go out and do autographs things and signings and all that crap for baseball. He doesn't need to work for baseball. Just put him in the damn Hall of Fame.
But I think if Pete Rose wants to work in baseball,
but I get that.
The God-given right upon reinstatement.
No, I get that, and that's fine and dandy. But he's 70-plus years old. Screw him. Put him in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't have to work for baseball. Just put him in the Hall of Fame. You know what, Pete Rose? We don't want you working for baseball. We want you to enjoy your senior years and enjoy your life, but we're going to put you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I think Pete Rose working.
I don't give a crap what he
would
thinks.
Be great for the game of baseball.
I don't.
He should be in the Hall of Fame. I agree with you there, Jeff. But if Pete Rose wants to work in baseball, I think he should. I think it would be great for baseball.
I don't give a crap what he thinks.
I
don't care. Manfred's the commissioner. You're going to say the same thing. I don't give a crap what you think and what you want. I'm putting you on the ballot. You're going to go into Hall of Fame, but you're not going to do anything in baseball.
Okay, fine.
That's it.
That would be good enough for me.
That's it.
That would be good enough for me.
Frank, I disagree with you now with what you said about having Pete Rose going to work in the office for the Reds or working for baseball, because I'm looking at him right now. Pete Rose next month will be 74 years old.
The game has passed him by, buddy.
Okay, but he could still work for the Reds, maybe as an ambassador. He cannot be employed by a major league ball club.
Why?
Because of the banishment.
I know, I get that. But why?
Why what?
Why do all that? Why put yourself through all that?
If
Go into the Hall of Fame.
If Pete Rose is reinstated, that it should be his choice if he wants to work in baseball. Whatever decision.
No, actually,
he wants to work in
Frank,
baseball or not work in baseball. That's fine with me.
Actually,
but if
you're
Pete
wrong.
Rose wants to work in baseball, then
you're
that
wrong.
should be his God-given right.
You're wrong. It's not his choice. It's Manfred's choice if he works in baseball. It's not his.
Well, I'm saying if the banishment is lifted.
Even if the banishment is lifted, and he's allowed to go into the Hall of Fame, It's still not his choice if he could work for Major League Baseball. It's the commissioners.
Go ahead, Sean.
Real quickly with the stats here. On July 27, 2009, the New York Daily News had reported that Commissioner Bud Selig had seriously considered lifting Rose's lifetime suspension from baseball. The next day, Selig shot down these rumors, and Rose remained suspended indefinitely.
Yeah, of course, because those two don't like each other. That's what that was all about.
I remember that.
That's what that's all about. Now that Manfred's in.
Buddy with Bart Giamatti.
Correct. Now that Manfred's in, Manfred's going to do the right thing. He's going to lift the ban. He's going to get him, let him into the Hall of Fame, and that's that. And just let him freaking retire as a Hall of Fame Major League Baseball player and go out in the sunset.
Guys, if that does happen, if Pete Rose is inducted into the Hall of Fame, can we bring Sports World Radio that week to Cooperstown?
I would love to. Let the whole Major League Baseball pay for it and everything.
Yeah.
You know what?
Bring us all there.
Yep, we got to get the flock out of here, boys. This is our time. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. We had a lot of fun. We'll be back again tomorrow for our Friday edition of Sports World Radio. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. For Sean Mann, Frank Sprankle, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio. Peace out, bitches.
See ya.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, kid. So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.
Next time? When's that?
Pretty soon. Don't worry.
Pretty soon? How long is that?
In a little while.